Hey everyone, my name is Steve, and welcome to GamerStranded. This is a show where I take two video games, from any console, from any generation, face them off with one another, and decide which one I can't live without, and which one gets tossed out to sea. On this episode, we are going to dive into one of my favorite genres that's almost certainly going to give you the heebie-jeebies, and that's the survival horror genre. And first up, the Upside Down in Netflix's Stranger Things is a walk through a cheap funhouse compared to the terrifying world of Silent Hill 3. You are Heather Morris, a teenager who is strangely connected to both the real world and a dark alternate reality called the Other World. This place is truly bone-chilling and feels like something out of a Hellraiser movie. Like most survival horror games, gameplay consists of combat, puzzles, and exploration. But Heather is no damsel in distress though, and can hold her own by using firearms, blocking, and can even sidestep past those pesky, faceless nurses. One thing is for sure though, after playing this game, I will never look at a pink Easter bunny the same way ever again. I feel your stress. This is a lyric from the opening song titled You're Not Here. This lyric perfectly describes what I feel for Silent Hill 3's protagonist, Heather. Everything from her posture, facial features, and speech mannerisms make me, well, feel bad for this character. She needs a good long hug, because I can definitely feel her stress, and quite frankly, it's stressing me out.
Oh crap. What the hell is that?
I want to take a few and focus specifically on those features that make Heather such a sympathetic character. Her face is pretty much what jumps out at me first. When we first see Heather, she is in a not-so-fun and friendly amusement park. And instantly, when I first saw her face, I can tell this character is just not well. She looks defeated, tired, depressed, and, well, stressed beyond belief. Heather's facial features also extremely intensify for me when she's in great moments of fear, as if I'm standing right next to her and know exactly what she's going through. Heather's posture is the next feature that stands out to me. It makes me feel for this character. The way she holds herself. Kinda loose. Maybe she's a little rebellious in nature. A little shaky. The way she holds her weapons also strikes me as a very scared and stressed girl. The handgun is kinda nervously tucked into her chest, and the pipe weapon she holds very tightly and close in as well. Like in a horror movie when someone's investigating a sound in a pitch-black room, with only a baseball bat clenched in their hands, knowing that there might be someone or something around the corner.
Oh my god, I'm sick for thinking that was funny.
Did you do all this?
It was the hand of God.
And lastly, her speech mannerisms, I feel, are one of the traits that adds to her character's dark emotional state. She's rebellious, for sure, but it also kinda sounds like she's not quite sure of herself. She's confused, and maybe she feels a little bit like a pawn in the greater game.
My name is Douglas Cartland. I'm a detective.
A detective? Really?
I feel for Heather. She is easily in my top 10 favorite characters, and I feel compelled to see her story through to the end yet again. But now, I'm way too stressed.
Well, nice talking to you.
My interest in the survival horror genre started back with the original Resident Evil on the PlayStation. I remember going to my local video store and renting it, and I don't know how many late fees I racked up, but I simply could not put the game down. Never have I played a game with such depth and that required you to think before you shoot. It was all about inventory management, because if you didn't do that, you probably weren't going to make it very far. After Resident Evil, the floodgates opened, and I pretty much consumed every survival horror game for the duration of the PS1 and the PS2. Games like Fatal Frame, Dino Crisis, Clock Tower. I even owned a copy of Countdown Vampires, and if you're not familiar with that one, head on over to eBay. I slap myself in the face every time I think about trading in a game now. Inevitably, the survival horror market got saturated, and I kinda lost interest and didn't follow it as much. Until one day virtual reality came along, and now the genre is redefining itself for the new medium. Horror games are just so much different in VR. I feel that you're really transported into that environment, and those feelings that you have aren't solely being manipulated by a game engine. You are that person, and those feelings are your own. In this next horror game, you may want to refrain from taking selfies, because that next frame you take might be your last. It's Fatal Frame 2: Crimson Butterfly. The Fatal Frame franchise is truly original. Armed with only a supernatural ghost-busting device known as the camera obscura, this camera uses film as ammunition to deal out the damage against some unfriendly ghosts. Fatal Frame 2's story revolves around twin sisters, who discover a seemingly vacant village. But this village has a dark secret, and the twins will soon learn about the Crimson Sacrifice ritual, a truly disturbing event that they are smack in the middle of. Grab your security blanket because things are about to get scary.
Mayu? A lost village.
Fatal Frame 2 is a ghost story done right. Through the game's very successful use of environments, scares, and its creative characters and objects, I automatically feel transported into this ghost-infested, creepy village.
This place must be... Neo! Mayu?
First, let's get the big one out of the way, and probably the reason you want to play this game in the first place: the scares. Fatal Frame 2 could very easily have fallen into the cliched overuse of jump scare tactics, meaning that the only scares you'll encounter are purely just to make you jump out of your seat. And while this tactic is a horror movie staple, and still present here, Fatal Frame dodges falling into the abyss of this cliche by using a more visual horror-style approach. Disturbing images, awkward encounters, and a perfect story pacing are just some of the reasons why Fatal Frame succeeds in making me feel creeped out even long after hitting the power button. But it's not all about having good scares. These scares work hand in hand with the game environments.
I wonder if anyone's here.
Fatal Frame 2's environments are some of the most creepy looking areas that I've ever played through. And to clarify, by environments I'm sort of encompassing everything that helps establish the mood. Art direction, music, and cinematography to name a few. And yes, I know it's a game, but I chose to use the term cinematography over simply camera placement, because these shots are flat out gorgeous, and have a very cinematic look to them. The director definitely knew how he wanted the player to interpret each and every scene, whether it was making you feel uneasy, tense, or just straight up petrified.
The camera obscura. Mio. What's that? Is someone here?
The art direction, together with the music, helps set the mood right from the start. Creepy forests, spider web-ridden, long abandoned houses, and eerie shrines. I could go on and on. They all look amazing, and upon first glance, I'm already feeling not so much at ease. And finally, the characters and objects in Fatal Frame 2 successfully convince me that I am not in Kansas anymore. The twins do seem a little cookie cutter to me. They don't have that sense of dread or stress like Heather has in Silent Hill 3. But when the creepiness intensifies, it's a feast for the eyes. Well, if you're not covering them anyways. The camera obscura looks great, and it's such a unique device to base the gameplay around. Battles require you to hold onto your camera and snap away pictures that will do damage to the ghosts you capture in the frame. Time it right, and you can perform a fatal frame, exorcising the ghost instantly. The camera itself is customizable. You can load a more powerful film or switch out special abilities like being able to slow down time, just to name a few. Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly is a terrifying ghost story that sucks the player in through its excellent use of genre storytelling. Sweet dreams. Okay, so this is probably the closest matchup yet on the show. I really like each of these games, but I have to make a decision, and the game I choose to be stranded with is Fatal Frame 2. This game is just so unique, and everything about it screams quality. The story sucked me in, held me tight, and would not let go. In my opinion, both of these games are masterpieces in the survival horror genre. At times, Silent Hill 3 just felt like it was going by a survival horror handbook, even if it was executing each moment with precise, genre-defining accuracy. So, which of these games would you want to be stranded with? Let me know in the comments. And please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching.